Going on, everybody? It's Key Time coming back with another one to talk about college football week 11 reactions. My first game I want to get into is the Ole Miss Rebels and the Georgia Bulldogs. The Ole Miss Rebels said that they had a game plan coming into this game, but I didn't see no game plan. I mean, after they went up 14-7 on Georgia, I thought that they was gonna do something, but then they fell back into their old Miss Rebel ways, and that's getting blown out in a game against the top team in the AP poll. The last 13 times that Ole Miss has played the top team in the AP poll, they've lost all 13 by an average margin of 29.4 points a game. So why did we expect a close game in this game? Georgia, they have been blowing out everybody this season. They are going to continue. Well, this game, I already knew it was going to be a blowout because Ole Miss, that defensive coordinator they have, Pete Golden. Pete Golden is one of the worst defensive coordinators in college football, if not the worst, because the defense was playing two-man and cover three most of the game. When it got to those third down situations, how you gonna give up a 3rd and 14 against Georgia? You need to get off the field in order to keep the game close. And then Ole Miss has some turnovers, which really helped out Georgia. And it was 28-14 at halftime, and they only scored 3 points in the entire second half. So, Ole Miss is overrated. They should not be number 10. They should be in the top 20. They should be somewhere between 20 and 25. Coming into the season, Ole Miss was unranked. So, what is the final tally going to be for them? Will they be in the top 25 or will they be unranked at the end of the season? We shall all see. It remains to be seen. The next team I want to talk about is the Texas A&M Aggies for a different note. They fired Jimbo Fisher. I said long before Jimbo Fisher came to College Station that he is going to get fired. He signed a 10-year contract when he first got to Texas A&M. And this is his 6th season, which he hasn't done anything remotely close coming to a championship. The first year, 2020, 2018, it was 7-4. The 2019, it was 6-6. 2020, everybody was on their high horse in College Station at 9-1. You beat Alabama that year. That's the only thing you did. 2021, 4-7. 2022, 6-6. Well, 5-7, 2022. And this year, 6-4. Which you haven't done anything remotely close to coming to a national championship. Only thing that Jimbo Fisher did at College Station was beat Alabama. But let me tell you, at Texas A&M, and this is certain, and this is accurate too, listen to what I'm about to tell you. The boosters and the college donors make the decisions on the calls when it comes to getting a head coach at College Station. The AD has no say-so. So the AD, he should be fired too for bringing Jimbo Fisher in to College Station. Only thing that got Jimbo Fisher that job is him beating Auburn in the 2013 national championship game. And if it wasn't for Alabama losing to Auburn 3 weeks prior to that, he would have lost to Alabama in the national championship game. But he was fortunate that Auburn beat Alabama, and he is also fortunate for Jameis Winston because that's the only reason that he has a big time name, because of Jameis Winston. He has made money off of the back of Jameis Winston, and he's still going to be making money off of the back of Jameis Winston because his buyout is one of the biggest buyouts in all of college football this year at $80 million. So Jimbo Fisher, he's still sitting on some green. Oh my goodness. I wish I was Jimbo Fisher's agent, because I'd be sitting on some green too. $80 million, and I ain't even got to get up off the couch. I could just sit my behind at home watching college football and making my money, making my 80 M's. And they gonna be right in his bank account. But coming out of the game Saturday night, I heard that he talked to the press conference. He talked in the press conference. Basically, he talked in the press conference, and then afterwards, he didn't even go to the team locker room. He went straight to his bench. So I think he already knew that he was going to be fired, because outside of that 1 year in 2013, what has Jimbo Fisher done? At FSU, he was working up under Bobby Bowden. Then once Bobby Bowden retired, he took FSU first season, didn't do much. Second season, didn't do much. 2012, they were in the top 15. Then 2013, they won the national championship. 2014, they went back down 6-6. 2015, oh my goodness, it was just a complete clown show. 2016, FSU, they ain't do nothing. And then he got fired there. Then FSU brought in Willie Taggart. We all know what went on with Willie Taggart. He cannot coach a top five Power 5 program. Willie Taggart, he cannot coach. And Jimbo Fisher, he's all hype. He's all hype. That's all he is, all hype, baby. He can't even get you to a SEC championship. Texas A&M, he ain't even get you to the SEC championship. But he did win versus Alabama. That's the only reason why he was able to stay as long as he stayed there. And in 2022, before the season started, it was talks about him going to LSU. Now, I don't like LSU, but LSU, they dodged a bullet by not hiring Jimbo Fisher behind. Because Jimbo Fisher, he is a great recruiter, but he is not a great coach. You had the #1 recruiting class at Texas A&M last year, and what did that translate? How many wins did that translate into? Only 5. 5-7. Bottom of the barrel, good for nothing, no good, nobodies. That's what you have been. The last national championship that Texas A&M has had is 1939. That is almost 90 years ago. That is almost 90 years ago. To be exact, let me make sure I got my numbers right. That is 77 years ago. So you haven't been relevant in 77 years. So I don't even want to hear nothing from College Station about we going to be back on top. We going to get to the SEC championship game, because in 77 years, you haven't shown us nothing. In 77 years, you haven't won a championship. So why should we think that you will be at the top of your game. And even coming into the season, you were ranked number 22 in the preseason AP Top 25, which I had a great, I was upset about that. I had a problem with that because it was other teams worthy of that 22 spot. And now you see what teams are in that 22 spot. Tulane is ranked number 22. They was worthy of 22 before the season started. They was ranked under y'all just by one spot at 23. But College Station. I'm going to keep on saying that. It's going to take y'all a while to find the right head coach. You bet not call Coach Prime because, like I say, the boosters and the college donors have more input than the head coach and the damn athletic director at College Station. College Station, you need to fire your athletic director. Fire everybody for that sort. Fire the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Fire everybody because it is a complete clown show at Texas A&M. And you bet not promote Bobby Petrino as head coach because I know that he is the offensive coordinator right now. But do not promote him as head coach because you will be in complete deeper turmoil than you already are. And you still owe Jimbo Fisher $80 million. Wow. You College Station, you messed up on this one big time. I mean, I thought that you had messed up with Kevin Sumlin, but Kevin Sumlin, he did much better than Jimbo Fisher did. He did much better. Kevin Sumlin, while he was at College Station, he had 55 wins. Jimbo Fisher only has 46 wins throughout his time at College Station. And in the games that he has lost to Alabama 5 times. He has lost to the number 1 team 4 times. And he has failed to deliver a national championship there, which y'all thought that y'all was going to get a national championship when you hired him way back in 2018. But now you have woken up. Well, not you, but the college donors and the boosters have woken up. And they have said that they have fired Jimbo Fisher, and I believe that this is at the right time. Now, you not winning nothing. You're not winning no national championship. It'll take you about 15, 20 years to get to a national championship. You not even gonna make a bowl game. Well, you are gonna make a bowl game this year because you don't won 6 games. But that's the only thing that you will do is make a bowl game, and whoever you may play, you may win that bowl game. But outside of that, I don't expect nothing else from y'all. And that's all I have on Texas A&M. So Texas A&M, hey, chop it up, get ready for 2024. The next team I want to talk about is the Michigan Wolverines. They went in to Penn State and won against Penn State. Now, I told everybody that the Penn State quarterback, he has been struggling for the last few weeks, and he struggled against the Wolverines defense on Saturday. And the Michigan quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, he didn't even have to throw the ball that much. He only threw the ball 8 times and completed 7 passes. So I knew that this was going to be a defensive struggle. I didn't expect Michigan to score 24 points. I only expected Michigan to score about 17 to about 19 points, and you win off of a last-second field goal. But they showed me something. Michigan showed me something. They showed that they don't have to cheat in order to win. And them allegations and accusations, I'm still perplexed about those allegations. I mean, you do know that you do understand NCAA that there is a thing called film, right? Teams can pick up signs from film. They have been doing this since college football has been around. Teams have been using other people's signals in the film room, and they have been using them against them, and that's how they win on Saturdays. And even in football, even in the NFL, they've been using each other's signals. It's a copycat game. What you can do, I want to do, and let's see if I can exceed it by scoring and by winning. And that's what Michigan did. So I don't see nothing wrong with Michigan and what they got going on. I believe that they are legit. Like I said, the NCAA, they not going to hand down any fines to Michigan this year or next year. It's going to be in 2030, 2035 when they hand down that fine. And that's all I got to say about Michigan. The next team I want to talk about is the Florida State Seminoles. The Florida State Seminoles, hey, they won a close one versus Miami. Division game, a rivalry game. I expected it to be this close. Now they are 10-0. They are still in the top 4. I believe that Florida State will stay in the top 4 at 4. So, and the other thing, on the other hand, Miami, hey, at least you'll make it to a bowl game this year. I still don't know how you lost to Georgia Tech of all teams, really. I mean, hey, I can't talk mess because, hey, my Gators, we ain't do nothing, and I don't even think that the Gators gonna get to a bowl game, so I can't be talking. But you can't lose to Georgia Tech and expect for people to take your school seriously. That's all I got to say about the Hurricanes. That's all I got to say about the U for humiliation. But the next team I want to talk about is the Washington Huskies. Michael Penix Jr., he had a good game. He had over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Washington won over Utah. Now, there was one thing that I was saying about Utah's defense. How does Utah have a good defense and they giving up 35 points? I thought coming into the season that Utah was the best defense in college football, but hey, it didn't look like it on Saturday. It hasn't looked like it throughout the entire season. And plus, their top quarterback, Cam Rising, he hasn't played a down this season. So, Utah, you'll get to a bowl game, but I don't expect you to win the bowl game with the defensive showing that you have showed over the last month. So, Washington, you are number 5 right now. You may have a chance you are still in college football playoff contention. You got to keep winning in order to stay in college football playoff contention. The next team I want to talk about is the Oregon Ducks. Now, the Oregon Ducks, hey, I expected them to win this game. Look at who they were playing. They were playing USC. You already know how I feel about USC. USC's defense is one of the worst defenses in college football. So what did you expect Saturday night playing against the number 1 defense in all of the number 1 offense in all of college football, averaging 48 points a game? They was just 12 points off of their average for the season in Oregon because they scored 36 points. This was a blowout at one point, but USC, they started to score and they made the game much more closer and respectable than it needed to be. Now USC, Only thing you can get is a bowl game, and you gonna lose your bowl game. Oregon, you are still in college football playoff contention. You better hope that Washington loses another game, because if Washington don't lose another game, they may be in the college football playoff, but it is gonna take a Herculean effort for Washington to make it to the college football playoff if the top 4 teams still win all of their games outright. If they just win out, Washington will be out of the college football playoff. The next team I want to talk about is Alabama. Alabama is headed to Atlanta to play the Georgia Bulldogs. I didn't even expect a fight out of this game between Alabama and Kentucky. Basically, Alabama from opening kickoff, they went up 7-0, and they ain't looked back since. So that's all I got to say. Well, Alabama, Jalen Milroe had a good game. He didn't even throw for 300 yards. He had 234 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But the interception came when the game was firmly in hand, so it didn't have much an effect on the game. But good game for Alabama. They go into Atlanta. SEC championship game is set between the Georgia Bulldogs and Alabama Crimson Tide. That'll be a good game. In my other videos, I will tell you who I'm picking in that game. But the next game I want to talk about is Tennessee Volunteers versus the Missouri Tigers. I picked Missouri in an upset, and boy, I'm happy that I was right, because I said Tennessee, they are in for a gauntlet of a game. And they were only able to generate 7 points on the scoreboard. Missouri, they came out and said that you're not gonna beat us in our home, Tennessee. Tennessee, I'm so tired of you Tennessee fans crying about how the game was played and what the refs were supposed to do. Every time you've won a game in the past few years, it's been all good. If the refs did something bad in a win to help y'all win, you say it's all good. But if you lose, it's the refs' fault. They didn't call it. They didn't make this call. They didn't make that call. Hush, shut up, Tennessee fans, really, because we are tired of listening to y'all complain year after year after year. You always be on your high horse coming into the season. You was ranked number 11 coming into the season, and look where you're at now. Almost out of the top 25. Your team is overrated, overhyped, and overmatched when it comes to teams that are more physical than you. Alabama was more physical than you. Missouri was most physical than you. My Florida Gators was more physical than you. So, Tennessee, you haven't, I said it last year, you haven't been relevant since 1998. 1998 was so long ago. Oh my goodness. 1998, you know how much gas was in 1998, Tennessee fans? Gas was $1.75 in 1998. Oh goodness, 1998 was so good for y'all. Y'all still talking about 1998, ain't you? I mean, 1998, it had Peyton Manning. Y'all thought that y'all was big and bad, but you couldn't get to the national championship game. Well, you did get to the national championship game, and you did win. But since 1998, it has just been a downward spiral. 99, 2000, and on and on and on and on. And it's still going to be a downward spiral for y'all. Josh Heupel He just remind me of Butch Jones. You can get winning records with him, 7, 8 win seasons, but can't get to the SEC championship game, and you can't get to the national championship game. Josh Heupel, he is all hype. He is just another Butch Jones. Y'all still thinking about 1998, ain't you, Tennessee fans? Oh my goodness. I always get a kick out of trashing y'all, man. It is like you have unrealistic expectations every season. Hey, be like me. Be like my Florida Gators. We know that we are bad this season, and we have admitted to being bad this season. But y'all, Tennessee, y'all have been on y'all high horse ever since y'all beat Alabama last season. And you was ranked after that for 72 hours. You was ranked number 1 for 72 hours. So you really wasn't number 1 for a while. And then ever since that, it's just been loss after loss after loss. You let Missouri beat you down, chew you up, and spit you out. I mean, Missouri beat y'all worse than like a drum. I mean, straight beat you down. You had Joe Milton throwing interceptions. You had, he throwing the ball, don't know whether he passed the line or not. And this was the worst offensive output under Josh Heupel's coaching tenure at Tennessee, because y'all thought that this was just going to be an easy win for y'all. But Missouri had a bone to pick with y'all, because y'all put up 66 points on Missouri last season. That was in Tennessee. This was a whole new year, a whole new team, and a whole new ball game. But this was a thorough annihilation that Missouri gave y'all, just like y'all gave Missouri last year. But it was a blowout, but yours was much lopsided. Missouri's was much lopsided than last year. So Tennessee, keep doing some soul searching, keep trying to find the secret sauce from 1998 and bring it into 2024. But you are not going to make it to the national championship. You're not going to make it to the SEC championship. Come to think of it, you are a worse team than the Florida Gators. And that's saying a lot, because my Florida Gators, we are a clown show right now. But Josh Heupel, you've had 3 seasons. Yeah, you've had 3 seasons to make your hay. You haven't made your hay. You've only won versus Alabama once. You haven't beat Georgia at all. You haven't beat, well, you beat You beat Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt is the SEC punching bag. If you need a win, hell, go and play Vanderbilt. Anybody in the SEC that needs a win, they can go play Vanderbilt. But Tennessee, I'm done talking about y'all. Y'all are 7-3. You may be 8. You're gonna be 8-4 at the end of the season. Gonna be 8-4 at the end of the season, and it'll be another winning season, but without an SEC championship appearance and without a national championship appearance. The next team I want to talk about is Ohio State. I didn't expect much from Michigan State. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised that it wasn't 49-0, but it was 38-3. Ohio State, are they the number 1 team in the playoff? In the playoff poll, they are. But Who have they beaten that is even legitimate on their schedule? See, they haven't beaten anybody legitimate on their schedule. Let's see. Look at who Ohio State has played throughout the season. You played East Carolina. You played Rutgers, and you played Michigan State, and that's just to name a few of the teams that they have played. Ohio State, their schedule does not start until after Thanksgiving. I've been saying that because it always comes down to Michigan and Ohio State for the Big Ten championship game. That's all. That is all it comes down to. It's basically just one game that you have to focus on, and it's just one game that I'm focused on. That is all. So Ohio State won. So not too much. Quarterback Kyle McCord, 335 yards, 3 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison went off. He had 2 touchdowns. And this was going to be, I already knew that this was going to be a beatdown, just like it was with Tennessee and Missouri. And that is all I have for the Week 11 college football reaction video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember, the key is always on time.